I'm T.S. Mitchell, Tyrone Swain Mitchell. That's what T.S. stands for. All right. I'm the president of T.S. Mitchell Financial, which is a wealth management firm in Columbia, as well as the Sharp Iron Riders. We're a cycling club that we're doing community events, and the whole aspect of Sharp Iron Riders is to help encourage others to get out and enjoy the sport itself.
And we appreciate you being here. Thank you so much.
I appreciate finding out about your organization, Be Strong, and the nature of it and the background of it. And I truly want to say we will be speaking with you about your future sponsorships too.
Thank you.
We really enjoy cycling. And the reason why we call ourselves the Sharp Iron Riders is based upon Proverbs 27:17. As iron sharpens iron, so does one sharpen the countenance of a friend. And the purpose of doing that was to really begin to make an impact in the community. Many times that we, especially here in Orangeburg, and I will say that because you will see a group of cyclists come ride through your community and just keep going. Well, my buddy and I, one day we was riding through Orangeburg, and we looked out and we saw how many people came out, and they really cheered us on because they saw a couple of brothers that looked like them doing something that they aspire to do. So we decided to call ourselves the Sharp Iron Riders, to be able to inspire others to do something such as this. One thing that we was asked to do is give some tips on bicycle safety. And as I was riding with the group today, yes, I was critiquing some folks out there on the bike. All right, now I ain't gonna mention any names or point any fingers, okay? But I will say this. Now, when you're riding a bike, it is a sense of freedom. But also remember, your bicycle by law is just like an automobile. It's classified as a vehicle. One question that I get often is it okay to ride facing the traffic? Now, the way you answer that, would you like somebody driving their car facing you?
No.
Because what you don't expect as a driver, as an automobile driver, is that traffic could be coming your way. And as a cyclist, you will say, okay, well, at least I can see what's coming toward me. But the danger to that is that when people get out of their car, they don't expect you to be coming. You can get hit by a door, you can get hit by someone making a right turn into the traffic, and you're headed right into them. So riding facing the traffic is one of the biggest dangers that a cyclist can put themselves into. So if at all possible, please ride with the traffic. If you are concerned about being able to know what's coming up from behind you, then you can buy little mirrors that will go on your bicycle. I don't have them on there because this is my Porsche. It's not going to have little mirrors on it, okay? but I'll say this. When you're riding, also, try not to ride with earbuds that block out the sound of the traffic around you. Many times you will not hear traffic coming up on you with something in your ear. And hey, there's a lot of folks in the country parts of our areas that let their dogs run free. And you need to hear that dog coming up. You got earbuds in your ear, you can't hear that dog, and they come quick, fast, and quiet. So important, ride with the flow of traffic, try not to have anything in your ears, and of always, if you can, be very predictable in your riding. Stay as close to the right side as possible and avoid weaving in and out of traffic. Sometimes when I coach folks who are riding, they typically want to ride close to the yellow line in the middle of the road. Well, that's a danger because now you have traffic from the front and the back coming towards you. So you want to give the drivers enough space so that they can go around you and you're not impeding the flow of traffic. Because if you're impeding the flow of traffic, yeah, you can get a ticket. But for some of the safety things, I always recommend, of course,
helmet.
What's this?
A helmet.
Some folks call it a sky cap. Some folks call it a dome protector, your helmet. And you see these scratches on my arm? I've been riding bicycles for 20 years. And yes, I do crash too. And I was glad I had my helmet on. This is my new helmet. The other day I was coming around the corner and I didn't slow down as much as I should have. And one thing that I always teach my children and everyone else, don't ride through puddles. I saw the traffic coming and I said, it's just a little puddle. I rode through the puddle, my front wheel went straight down.
Ooh.
I flipped over the handlebars, bang, see the scratches on my glasses, my face hit the pavement. And I spent the night in the ER, making sure that I didn't crack my cheekbone. That's how hard I hit. My family would tell you, if I go to the doctor, that means something's wrong. And when I thought everything was okay, I got some scratches, nothing was broken. But I went back home the next day and I looked at my helmet. My helmet was cracked right in the corner, right above my temple. And if anybody who teaches self-defense, they tell you if you get punched in the temple, that's a deadly spot. And so that helmet does protect you. And you're talking to someone who used to race, semi-pro, all right? It does protect you. Another thing that I would recommend that you do is that on your bike, always have lights, okay? Front and back. When I ride, typically folks believe they only need lights in the evening. Lights in the daytime do work. Just like your car, when it has daytime running lights, and what's the purpose of that? So that other folks can see you. Okay, today when we was riding and we was on a turnaround coming back, I was looking for my sons who were riding, and I couldn't see them afar away, but what I saw was that light blinking. Now imagine a car doing the same thing, okay? They can't see you physically, but they can see that light. Whether you're coming toward them or they're behind you. It works, it really does. And I've had many people tell me, because many times when I ride from just all over the Northeast down to the low country, and I've had people just meet us at the gas station and say, thank you for having the lights. These are drivers, and it's very important that you have that. Another point of safety, in the summertime, cycling can be very deceptive when you think you're out there enjoying yourself. Always have some liquids, always. And the reason for that is because if you get dehydrated, then it's like your decision making gets lost. So if you're out there riding, even if you're just playing, riding around the neighborhood, always have a water bottle. Put one on or carry one in the backpack. I was riding with a young gentleman today. I don't know if Irv is still here, but Irv and I were riding and we were talking. And he stopped and I said, Irv, you got some water? He said, yeah, I got it in my backpack. And that was good because he was just starting to ride his bike, but he knew some essential things, and that's very important. So lights, water bottle, helmet, and we're going to conclude with a little test. Now, many folks don't use these, but I'm going to ask a question. I know somebody's going to ask, where's the kickstand? Ain't no kickstand on this bike.
Is that a Porsche?
You know, when you're riding sometimes 50, 60 miles, every ounce counts.
Oh.
All right, so most of the bikes that you see that when we're riding in groups, we won't have kickstands. All right, it's just a thing. All right, but local bikes, yeah, no, local bikes here we do. All right, now, forgive me for turning my back. What does this mean?
Left turn.
What does this mean? Oh, I heard stop, right, left. This is what?
Left, this is right.
Okay, what's this?
This is right. That's right.
This is right? Are you sure? It's not wrong? It's right. Okay, this is right. So in other words, hand signals. Many times when you're riding, have you ever tried to talk to somebody and they're up ahead of you and you're yelling and yelling and they still don't hear you? Or you are ahead and you're trying to yell back the instructions? Learn your hand signals. Because when you're riding with a group and if a car is behind you, left turn, right turn, stop. Okay? Sometimes we also alternate it. We'll go like this. We'll do like this. Tell the group that's behind us we're stopping. If you're riding with your friends and families, what does this mean? Slow it down, okay? Now, here's another point. When you're out there riding, a safety feature would be if you see, in my case, a pothole, what do? Point to it. If someone is behind you, just point to the pothole, point to the glass, point to the sand, so that way they will avoid that obstacle. Because you don't want to be out there riding with someone and then they get injured because you did not warn them. So those are some of the safety tips that I can provide you. Number one, which way do you want to ride? With the traffic.
With the traffic.
Okay. Number two, you want to have what?
Helmet.
Number three,
Lights.
Okay. Number four, learn your hand signals, right? Okay. And number five.
Something to drink.
Oh yeah, make sure you have something to drink now. All right.
You have some water in your backpack.
You can have it in your backpack too. Sometimes I carry extra water in my backpack, my string bag. All right.
Wait. What about identification for emergency?
Oh, thank you. Identification. I can tell you a story. Matter of fact, one time, it was a couple of years ago, we were doing the ride out here in Orangeburg. We do 50 miles here on the holidays. One guy on one of the back roads had a crash. He did not have any identification. Nobody knew who he was.
Oh, no.
He came, he was visiting because he heard it was a group ride and there was about 80 of us. But when he crashed, we were out there waiting for the emergency vehicles to come and we were on the back road, so it took an extra amount of time. So finally someone came up and said, oh, I know who he is. He's visiting. Always have ID. Always have. Thank you for pointing that out. All right? Always have some form of ID. Whether it's a driver's license, school ID, something that someone can identify who you are. And another thing is sometimes if you carry a smartphone, you have apps that you can download. And what I do, I turn on is called a beacon. So when I'm out riding, my family follows the little blue dot on their phone to know where I'm at. A tracker, yes, that's what it is. Very good. That's right. So we can have trackers. So there are things out there that'll help folks know where you are. All right, so have your water. I guess we add another one to the list, ID. All right, and just be predictable. And the main thing about safety on cycling is enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. Because if you enjoy yourself, you will do it with a sense of purpose. And as you're riding with a sense of purpose, you will enjoy the beauty of cycling. All right. Open the floor. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All right. Wait. Yes, ma'am.
Yesterday, I did the same thing. I was riding my bike, I was standing on it, and I tripped over something, and I landed on my face. But I was okay.
I'm glad you're okay. Yeah, I think you and I have a few things in common. A few scrapes and bruises, but we're both okay today, right? Okay. Now.
But don't go too fast in the bike next.
That's right. Oh, were you trying to race?
Yeah, she was trying to get in front of me.
Oh.
And I
You know what? I saw you when you did that today.
Any close encounter with any animals, dogs or deers or something out there?
All above.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had this one dog when I ride up to Lake Watery and come down Longtown Road, going toward Camden. There's at a stretch before I get to Highway 1. there's a shepherd. I don't know how he hears me. He has to run at least 100 yards to get to the road. And I see him, and he always tries to get that angle on me. So if I'm coming, I look toward that farmhouse, and there he is. And we're just going like this. And he's in good shape. But I'm glad, thank the Lord, I'm in better shape. And he will come right here and run with me. And I keep pedaling. But every weekend I do the same thing. So I think we end up building a bond. All right, but I'm not going to stop and pet him. But I do have encounters. But the things that I do is I just try to stay predictable. I have had deer cross my path because sometimes I train in the evening, and I had a family of deer go right across. So when I know that there may be deer out, I brake, I slow down, I save the speed work for another day.
So what can you do to protect yourself from a dog if he's coming at you like that?
Well, they have dog repellent spray, like pepper spray. I'm thinking of picking one up and just have it attached to the bike. So when the dog does come, I can just discharge it and spray it and keep going. Otherwise, I use my water bottle. If he gets too close, I haven't had to use it because I try to keep my water for myself. But if I have to squirt the dog with some water to help to distract him a little bit. The closest I've come was, matter of fact, just the other day, it was, I think he wasn't a pit, but I think it was a boxer. And he was coming out of the yard, and he went into the ditch, and he looked up and saw me coming. He watched me coming toward him. I watched him looking at me. Then he decided to come out. And he came right here. And this was a dog I wasn't familiar with. And so what I had to do was like maneuver the serpentine, and then that got him off of his stride. And you know, they would typically follow you for maybe about 20 yards or so. Some may go 30 or 40. But once I get past that point where he's not going to run anymore, then I just